I am very close to hitting my 5,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, and I've been seeing this video going around of people talking about how YouTube has changed their life with less than 500 subscribers. And since I am way past that milestone, I thought I would do my own video with my own spin on it of how YouTube has changed my life with less than 5,000 subscribers. Plus, I want to give you guys some of the perks of starting YouTube and hopefully a little motivation if this is something that you've been thinking about doing for a while. So the first perk that I've noticed of doing YouTube is being able to look back on the body of work and see the growth. My YouTube channel is honestly my pride and joy, and looking back to the beginning of the channel, I am a totally different person than when I started. I would have been, I think, 23 when I started uploading on this channel, which was 3 years ago at this point. So to say I have been doing YouTube consistently for this long is pretty wild to say, especially being able to say that I have about 5,000 subscribers. I never in my wildest dreams imagined that I would actually get to this point, so to be able to look back on all of the growth is just amazing. But honestly, I have been doing YouTube for like the last 10 years now. I started uploading really crappy gaming videos when I was in high school, and I would have been about 16 at the time. And it has evolved into a full-fledged business that I actually get to make money from. So to be doing YouTube for the better part of my life, there's just no feeling like it, especially when you get to the point of being able to make money from it. It's also a creative outlet as well. You can really create so many great things on YouTube, and the possibilities are endless and really just depend on the creativity that you have. But being able to document your growth as a person and as a creator and flexing your creativity muscles is something that I absolutely love. And of course, there is the option to be able to make money from it. If you are looking to start YouTube, probably one of the perks of starting YouTube is the fact that you can eventually make money from it if you get monetized. Now, it took me about 2 years to get monetized, and my income has gone up ever since. But there are way more opportunities to make money from YouTube than just from the AdSense, and I have made sure to capitalize on those opportunities. Like, for example, my main source of income right now is client work. I do monthly Pinterest management, I do coaching calls, I do a bunch of other things, along with a few other revenue sources, and that has allowed me to work from home and run my business, which has been a dream since I was in high school. I always knew that I wanted to run my own business, but I didn't really know what I would be doing or what my life would look like. I just knew that I wanted a creative business and that I loved writing. But past that, I had no idea what my life was going to look like. And then when I heard that you can make money off of posting videos on YouTube, I was absolutely hooked immediately. I am endlessly fascinated back then and now by the idea of making money at home online right from your computer. And now the 16-year-old whose eyes went wide at the idea of posting videos on YouTube and making money is actually doing it right now. I can't describe the feeling of setting a goal or having a dream and actually fulfilling something as big as this dream is. So if you're thinking about doing YouTube, you have to try it. Seriously, because one day you're going to be looking back and really glad that you did. And I also want to talk about some tips for getting started. And the first one is something that you have probably heard before, but if you haven't started yet, I'm sure you need to hear it again. And that is to just start. Seriously, stop thinking. Genuinely, please, I'm begging, if you take one thing from this video, if you are thinking about starting YouTube, stop thinking about it. Just start doing it. Because if you ask yourself, how long have you realistically been thinking about starting a YouTube channel? Has it been a couple months? Has it been a year? Has it been even longer than that? Because if it's anything longer than a month, you've been thinking about it way too long and you just need to start. The time is going to pass you by anyway, so why not start now? Why not start working towards your goal and your dreams right now? Because I guarantee you that when you start, you are going to be wishing that you started sooner. I know that I did. I don't really have a whole lot of regrets about my YouTube journey because I feel like I did start at a good time. But I mean, I like to think about where would I have been had I started sooner? And you may be wishing you started sooner right now, and yet you still haven't started for some reason. Because consider this, if you had started when you first thought about it, instead of procrastinating and thinking that you needed all of these fancy things or all of these different things were in your way, if you had started when you first thought about it, where would your channel be right now? How many improvements would you have made? How many videos would you have posted? How much closer to monetization would you be had you started when you first thought about it? But that also may be a reason that you don't want to start because you're upset that you didn't do it already and you're overwhelmed with all the options. I am definitely sympathetic to the fear of overwhelm and the fear of getting started because I definitely had that a lot in my business. But trust me, you just need to get out of your own head. It's really not that scary once you start doing it. It is really not that hard once you start start doing it. The hardest part is the first step. And I am sure you have heard that before, and it is definitely true. The hardest part is the first step. The hardest part is trying to figure out all the things that you need to figure out. But the good news is you don't need to do everything all at once. You do not need to be at the high level that all these other creators are when you first start. So just get out of your own head, write a loose script for your first video and hit the record button on your phone, or order a camera and hit the record button on your camera. Even if you never post this video, even if you have to record 5 videos before you feel ready to post a single one, any momentum that gets you closer to your goal of posting on YouTube is going to be forward momentum, and that is going to help you reach your goal. And if you are overwhelmed with the whole process of it and all of the elements that go into it and everything, I completely understand. It is kind of overwhelming to think about all of the things that you don't know. But in the beginning, it is really important to remember that simple is best. Start it out simple, because I understand that YouTube can be overwhelming. And you're probably looking at people that are really far ahead of you and wondering, how can you compete with them? Like, where do you even get started? But the truth is, the people that you are likely looking up to, you can't actually compete with. And also, you shouldn't try to compete with those people. If you have no skin in the game, you can't ever compete. If you never post your first video, you can't compete with the people that you look up to. You can't improve your skills if you never post your first video. Because honestly, I don't really like the word compete, because I believe there's room for everybody on this platform. There's always room for good quality content, but you will never improve. You will never get to the levels of the people that you look up to if you've never even posted your first video. Right now, I have a very basic beginner camera. I have a very basic shotgun mic. I don't know all the settings on this camera. I quite honestly don't really know how to use this camera. I hit the record button, I keep it on auto so it does all the settings for me, because you can get really deep into this camera. I have a Canon EOS M50. If you're curious, I'll leave the link down below in the description. I don't know how to use this camera. I have a very basic beginner camera on the very basic settings with a very basic shotgun mic, a tripod, and 2 studio lights. And I didn't even start out this way. I started out recording videos on my phone on a different channel. This channel, I've always had this camera because I knew that I was going to be using it for a while and investing in it, but I had previous channels before this, and I was using my phone and I was using a window light. And then when I started, I bought this camera, I had a tripod, and I was using a window light. I did not have any lights. And then a year or 2 later into it, I decided to get studio lights. So I didn't start out with even all of this stuff, even though I still have basic things. I didn't start out here regardless. I started out with my phone and a window light. I just upgraded as I went. And as far as video edits go and thumbnails, I didn't have fancy pop-ups or noises like I'm gonna have in this video. I didn't have attractive thumbnails. I decided that I was going to get better as I went and keep it as simple as I needed it to be in order to not get overwhelmed and to keep posting, because that's the main thing, is to keep posting and not get overwhelmed. So simple is best, ready is a lie, and just get started. Because you will never feel ready to do this. This is always going to be scary when you start, and you're never gonna feel ready. And the more you put it off, the less ready you're likely gonna feel. So just start posting. And remember that the possibilities on YouTube are endless. You can get so many great opportunities here on YouTube, so it is best to just stop researching how to start a YouTube channel and start writing your first script and post your first video. And if you would like some accountability, comment down below when you are going to be taking the next step on your YouTube journey. It can be something as simple as writing your first script or planning out a day to record your first video. Let me know the plan for you down below in the comments, and make sure you actually stick to it. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, because I post new videos like this one every single week. Here's one right here. Bye.